Alright, so I did my first cut. You can see we're about halfway there. I still have to cut it back maybe a good 6 inches to a foot, because this line is where this line, the yellow line, is where I want to first cut. However, that's not where the sidewalk is. The sidewalk is actually further back. So this is the first cut. When I started cutting into here, there's a lot of dead branches. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up cleaning all this up, probably pruning it back some more, and then like all this getting cleaned up. The bush right here is gonna be trimmed up, and then all the stuff in there is actually gonna be taken out. All that fern, all that stuff in there, all that's gonna be taken out so that the bush is just there. And then we're probably gonna get some nicer looking plants to put into there to cover that hole. Eventually this tree is gonna get cleaned up. That big thickle is gonna get pruned back a little bit, and then we're gonna clean up in here. This bush, this big old huge tree, is gonna get pruned up a lot, and so it's gonna look really nice and clean. So that's about the halfway mark on this bush. All right, so we are back a good 6 inches right there. Right there, that is the sidewalk. So we're pretty good on that. Now, a few people are probably wondering, well, Matthew, you got a hole in there, and you know the roots are exposed. We have solution. So the pastor wants to put in these barrier walls. We will end up having to get him a lot of them, because it's going to go all the way down to there, all the way to that black dark spot, and it will end up climbing higher and higher. So that will end up taking care of about a foot of this whole thing. So basically the wall is going to be up to here, and it's just going to rise, level plane, rise. And here is something I came into contact. I didn't know what this little thingy right here was. I thought it was like a fern or something right here. Come to find out, it's a stump. So more than likely there is a very large stump right there, and maybe another one right there. So that is gonna have to come out, which means definitely all this stuff is coming out. All this stuff right here is just completely coming out. Now I do have in my inventory a plant. It is like a agave, and it's very bushy. It's got spikes on it, and it turns out very pretty. I actually have 2 of them. So we're probably gonna put one right there, and then maybe one right there. And that will basically, once they get bigger, that will cover this whole area. And then that tree up there will get pruned a little bit, so that this right here will end up like flowing. I'm considering making it a concave wave. Yeah, probably like a concave wave, like that. And then it will brush around here and then kind of just fan out into that. I'll probably end up like letting that flow up into there. So yeah, that's actually for the day. It's actually getting pretty dark, so we're gonna cut out right now. We're gonna clean up, but you can definitely see the difference. The bush was way out here, so you can see how much I cut off. It was way out here. So we're gonna do a little better. I actually have to, yeah, see, there I was doing the chainsaw. I've got to sharpen my chain, And then I'll come back with some loppers to trim it off even more, nice and flat. And then next time we will look to cutting that off and cleaning all that out. All right. Have a good day.